101 Part-Time Jobs is the name of the game. If you're listening to this, you probably know how difficult it is to get a job to cover the bills. Indeed Flex is a simple app that covers that with temporary and flexible work available when you need it. I spent my whole 20s going job to job, feeling guilty when I left a role to go traveling or playing music. I did retail, delivery driving, bar work. It took me years to realize that feeling of guilt wasn't necessary. Looking back, it was because my only options were working at places that made you feel like you should work there forever. Indeed Flex is designed for people looking for temporary and flexible work that fits around their schedule. You just download the app, have a quick interview, and you're ready to go. There are thousands of shifts on the app, so you can pick and choose the ones you want. No messing around, no lengthy CVs and cover letters. Just start earning. With the holidays fast approaching, if you're looking for more funds, head to Indeed Flex to find your next temporary role.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso. Gift magical mornings with Nespresso Virtuo Pop. Compact and stylish, Virtuo Pop is made to meet every morning coffee craving. From espresso to coffee, hot or iced, at the click of a button. And celebrate the season with Nespresso's limited edition coffee flavors. Sweet almond and hibiscus, cinnamon and candied tamarind, and festive double espresso. Magic in the making. Shop the holiday gift collection exclusively at Nespresso.com.
I don't know how old you are, but I guess you're over like 25, right? And I suppose
43.
Okay, you're an adult.
Yeah.
And I think it's so fucking rad that people can be adults and still playing punk bands.
It is a gift and a curse. Because you know, one of the things that I find is funny is like, you know, you play with other bands and all the guys are young and you're seeing them fly around. You're just like, okay, we're going to put on our show. But then when you're done, you're like, where's that oxygen tank?
Yeah, but you send it. I feel like you moved in a lot of, you move a lot more, like you personally. I mean, the band does as well, sure. But you've got a good high kick.
Yeah, I try to bring it, like you said, trying to bring it with the young man game that's going on out there, you know.
How do you think you've done it? You know, because I think obviously like the dream of most punk bands, large swathe here, but like the most punk bands, get in the van, get in the car, probably more likely, travel with your friends, go cross country, live off not very much money. Obviously, there's only so long people can do that without going either stir crazy mentally or just be like, I just can't afford this anymore. So how do you think you've been able to do it?
Well, let's see. Like, when I was younger, it was like, I used to live in one of the best advice I could give anyone is find a good punk house. When you're a kid, just like find 5 or 6 mates that you can live with that just like live in absolute squalor. Yeah. But like your rent will be like $150, 200 Canadian a month, you know, that helped big time. And it's funny because, like, yes, even some of those houses have you know, they stood the test of time and they're still around to this day. Mm-hmm. But like that helped. Like these days, it helps that I have like a part-time, like I have a job that like allows me to travel and like I get like vacation days and stuff like that. And COVID actually helped big time because I saved all my vacation for those years. Right. So that helped the first couple of years of touring was just being able to burn through vacation days.
Yeah.
So that helps.
At some point, like money's obviously such a fucking, I mean, what a wild thing. But once you kind of get your head around like, okay, if I can get something to survive on, I don't know, it gives you somewhat of an idea. I'm definitely like throughout my 20s, I was definitely like fucking money was like the breeze. I just didn't know fucking coming or going or like could not plan, you know?
Like if you had, I mean, it was also funny because like when I was in my 20s, you'd be like, yeah, you got like $1,200. You'd be like, wow, that's going to last me probably like 6 years.
Yeah, totally. Did you get into like the band economic side of stuff? Were you quite good at, I guess people call it self-management, right? But like,
I mean, that's what we've always been self-managed. Like every band I've ever been in, it's been self-managed until we just ended up getting some help with, with a manager coming up. And so shout out to Dano. But like, definitely been just like, I find that cutting costs is by doing as much stuff as you can by yourself. You know, like I look at a band like for us, like growing up, and I think being Canadian, I think seeing bands like DOA and you know, like growing up, seeing that when you were younger, and realizing that Joey Shithead does everything, and now he's like, you know, in his 70s now, and he's still playing and
Yeah.
doing stuff. But it's like, you know, he books a lot of the stuff, or has a big hand in booking the shows. He's writes all the songs, books, pays for everything, like drives their old milk truck, you know, like it was just, that was just like how they operated. And so when you see that kind of in practice and you see the longevity of it, you're like, that's fucking sick. Maybe that's the way to do it.
Proof of concept, right? You're like, oh, people can do it. Because even you might think that you're like punk as fuck or whatever, but like, I think anyone can be like, oh, well, maybe it would help if we just put our lives in someone else's hands. I mean, it would be easier momentarily.
I mean, I think like, well, honestly, I definitely feel like getting older. I feel like there's certain hats that I don't really want to wear as much anymore, and that could be part of it, like booking gigs. Like, I want to have a hand in like getting bands in, but at the same time, like Clint and I from Homefront, we're both like studio rats. So I love being in the studio. And so touring has been like the second like version of this band. And so with that, it's like, okay, well, if we're constantly doing, you know, all this stuff, what can I do that I can focus on? What can Clint do that he focuses on? And I think by splitting up the duties and having help from like our partners, like my partner, Kate, she comes on tour with us. So she helps with like merch, and she helps with all this stuff and photos and videos and stuff like that. And I think having that and splitting up the duties and stuff, it's great. And luckily we've had a long list of great people that have driven us and have provided us backline and provided us tons of support. So we're blessed in that thing. So you have to have a good support network.
Think of MC5 and like Wayne Kramer being like, everyone has a job. Like if you're in this band, you have a fucking job that's not playing your instrument or just
100%.
turning up.
I 100% agree with that. Like I think that's a successful recipe for a long standing band. Like I look at the band, like for instance, there's another Canadian band I can reference is Fucked Up. And like, I look at Fucked Up and it's like, you know, Damien's like, he can do all the interviews. Jonah does all the driving, getting all the van, getting all that stuff. Mike will do studio stuff. Sandy will help with like the tour managing. Like everyone breaks up, like watching them operate, you just kind of realize like, fuck, that's why there's 6 members or 5 members or whatever.
And it's so cool. Like I don't really ever want to see, or I can't see the day that Fucked Up stopped being a band, which is the coolest thing about it.
Yeah. Right. And they just keep on rolling, coming up with more and more crazy concepts and stuff like that. But you know, like I definitely feel like even the inception and like maybe where we're at with Homefront, we're always tied with certain bands, and Jonah from Fucked Up and Career Suicide has always had, he's always been a really like great mentor and a friend. So like we just fucking laugh our asses off, but we also work on music. He listens to so much crazy stuff too. And like even I remember when we started the band during lockdown, we're like doing Russian push-up challenges, like over like, it's just like, you know, just doing like fitness stuff together is really great too. So it's funny how we're tied with other bands. I kind of think about
Big
that
time.
too sometimes.
It's interesting to think. I didn't know that you started off as like a studio band, but it kind of makes sense for the sound of it, you know, because I guess if you're starting a band with the idea that you're going to go out and play in shows, maybe you wouldn't have so much like new wave style production, if that's probably the right way to say it. I don't know how you call it.
Right. No, it's totally true. Cause like I'm from, you know, playing punk and hardcore and oi and stuff like that. And all of those bands, you like, you know, you write music, you jam, you rehearse in a jam space, get the songs to a good spot, get it to like where you're happy with it, then you bring it to a studio. With Homefront, it's always been like studios first. It's like we're in our rehearsal space already putting things into Pro Tools and like recording synth lines and drum machines because it's all electronic. like especially like the foundational elements. And so then, then we add guitars and bass and stuff, but I still write songs the same way. It's just working with Clint. It's just like, he's got this crazy mind as well. So it's just really easy to, like make music like that. Now, however, one of the things that I think is really interesting about this band and being in this band for me is that once we have all these things done in a certain way, when we have the live band come in, so there's 3 other people, like Brandy on bass, Ian on guitar, and Warren on drums. And when those guys come in, they interpret the songs in their own way. And it's just like makes it like, and once you have the live drummer playing over top of drum machines, it's just like the energy and the power just comes up, and the same can be said with like, Brandy's bass tone and her attack and like all the weird noise stuff that Ian does too. Like they bring their own flavors to
I get it.
the music. So it's just like, for me, I just like how I'm used to hearing the song is like out the window. And then now it's alive,
I saw you at the Islington Assembly Hall with High Vis last year, I guess at this point. And that was like a really special show. Like that was it was an amazing show. That was so good.
My heart felt so full seeing High Vis like get to come to their hometown and just like after like working so hard on like on blending and working so and like getting I think the right roses, like getting their flowers was just like for me it was sick to see.
I get goosebumps thinking about it. I don't know
of course
what it was about that night, but everything kind of came together in that moment. It's hard to describe.
It was mental. It was just also like really cool to see them like, like everybody like was singing every song. Like it was just what a great show that was. I was blown away too. Like, we had a good set. I had a really fun time and it was a fun time hanging out, but like getting to see High Vis in that moment was really, really special.
Amazing. Hey,
I love those guys.
Talking about jobs and like, I'm a big fan of like work fuck ups and just those like being in a band and living in a punk house. Like work is the last thing that's on your list of priorities, right? And so if something's at the bottom of your priorities, you end up sort of fucking it up or like getting it wrong and like just kind of like learning the hard way, right?
Oh man, 100%. Like I think about all the jobs that you've had when you were younger and like how fucking shitty you were at those jobs. And like,
have you got any particular memories of like,
so I was like, like I'm more just consider myself sober, but at the time I was like a straight edge guy. And I was definitely like, I was like, I'm going to get a job at a liquor store so that I don't steal like the product, because I used to work at a grocery store and I used to just like throw food in a bag and drive it home on my one pedal bike. Like I was like hurting. But in at this liquor store that I worked at, I used to do this thing where like we were up all night. I would like work the shift and I would sleep on my boss's desk, like because I'd be in the store by myself. And I took the bell. So like when you open the door, there was like this alarm that would go off, and I'd put it like right by my ear, and I would fold my hoodie like onto these phone books and use them as like a pillow, and I would like sleep, and then it was like I'd hear that thing, and I would just like get up and I'd like, oh fuck, and like fucking have like the zipper from my like hoodie like across my face. I'm like, oh, what the fuck's going on?
You gotta be a grifter. That's life, man. You gotta grift.
It's the best, man. I even remember that sweet liquor store. I got robbed like 3 or 4 times, and I remember one time this one guy like showed up and he grabbed this bottle of like whatever vodka or something like that. I was like, "Hey, you gonna pay for that?" And he like, he kind of like quietly turned to me and he opened up his jacket and he pulled out like this handle, and it was like a garden weasel, like that thing with like the metal tires that you use to break up the soil.
Okay.
Like when you're gardening, it's just like this thing, and he had it like a handheld garden weasel. I'm like, that looks like a weapon from the future. I don't know what it's gonna do. I don't get paid enough to give a shit. Yes. Goodbye. Enjoy.
That's good.
Have a nice party. I'll be sleeping on my boss's desk. So if you need me, I'll be in the back listening to Cockney Rejects way too loud and not even hearing that people are robbing the store.
Cheers for watching. This is 101 Part-Time Jobs. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, and all podcast apps. We've done interviews with Aurora, Kneecap, idols, Lauren Mayberry of churches, and loads more. So tap into 101 Part-Time Jobs on Spotify, Apple, and all podcast apps. Welcome along to 101 Part-Time Jobs. Every single one of our episodes is available ad-free at our Patreon, patreon.com/101 Part-Time Jobs. I know that there are all these messages trying to sell you things that you may or may not want. So for £4 a month, that's around $5.50 US, you can get over 450 of our episodes and every single one in the future, featuring all the brilliant guests that we have week in, week out, completely ad-free. You can head to patreon.com/101 Part-Time Jobs, get all your episodes bother free, and you support us directly. Cheers.